All right, I'm going to put up the link on Facebook. Let's see how we do this here. Try this. So everybody can see me, hear me. Let's see. Here we go. Facebook. There we go. I don't think it's working. Damn it. Don't worry, folks. If you're in the room, I'm just trying to do something here. Probably not going to work. Holy crap! There you go. Hey, what's up? I was trying to get up on Facebook so people could see how's it going. Que pasa? Que pasó? Que pasó? Para. Well, you know, my medicine just kicked in. My Spanish isn't really flowing that good. Que pasa in Florida? Señor Guapo. My, watch your language. I love you, Tom. You keep me coming back for more every time. Yeah, I'm just trying to. My medicine took 2 hours to kick in this morning. I think because I ate a bunch of peanuts and almonds, and yeah. So yeah, good times. But I'm here. I'm here. I'm alive. Let's see if anybody shows up. I got 3 people in the studio right now. Oh, that just disappeared. By the way, Senor Rio, did you see that picture of me on Facebook when I had? Yep. Did you see that picture of me on Facebook where I had that ponytail? I don't know if you saw that. I changed my profile picture. My good buddy Sam Wade sent me a video clip where I had my long hair and my ponytail and my beard when it was still when it wasn't gray. And I got some freeze frames. Yeah. So I got some freeze frames put on Facebook. I got some people going, that's wow. You know, I always say I miss my hair, but looking at that picture of me, I don't know if I can find a way to put it up here. I probably can't. Go to my Facebook page, just Jeremy Mack, for anybody that wants to know. And but the hair looks so hot. Speaking of hot, just that the weight and just. I mean, in theory, I miss it, but honestly, I don't really think I do. I don't really think I do. I mean, I have frequent dreams about waking up with hair. So you know, I said talking about Parkinson's and whatever, but you know, we talk about whatever. Parkinson's disease and more. Yeah, it's. I've actually been working out a lot more. You probably can't really tell because I'm sitting down and stuff, but I've actually started to do some light weightlifting and push-ups and crunches and stuff. I have seen a difference. I take less medicine for one thing because if I stay moving and stay active, I don't really need as much medication as we've talked about numerous times. But so how's your PD going? If you don't mind me asking, your Parkinson enfermedad. See you, Tom. Get reposition. When I was 17, I drank some very good beer. I drank some very good beer I purchased with a fake ID. My name was Brian McGee. I stayed up listening to I stayed up listening to Queen when I was 17. Yep, talk about whatever you want, Parkinson's or not Parkinson's. I'm here to talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. I'm trying to set something up with shaking in my boots. Trying to set something up with shaking my boots, Esther. We want to talk about. I don't want to say because she's. I think. I think it was all gung ho, and then yeah. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. Talk about some supposedly miracle cures for PD, which there are none. Feeling lonely? Somebody come and play. Somebody come and play today. This is what it would be like if I was on a deserted island. I would just be singing to myself and talking to myself. You know, I frequently do talk to myself, but not out loud under my breath. I'm afraid if I was ever on an island, 1-2 days in, I'd be a babbling brook of nonsense, just jibber jabber to myself. I find when I talk to myself, it's usually negative. I find like I'm usually venting on something. Very rarely am I ever like, "Good job, Jeremy. Good job." Maybe I should start giving me a good job more. Let me go check Instagram while we're waiting here. Nope, nothing going on over on Instagram. You sly perro, you. I know what you're talking about. It is good exercise. It's excellent exercise. All man, it gets you. What we're talking about, get your cardio going, get your lungs working, get your muscles going, get your endorphins firing. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. At all. See, it's finally starting to cool down here in St. Louis. I was able to get out this morning and slowly trim the garden. We've got what's called a wild garden, which is basically you just take a patch of land and just let it go completely feral, for lack of a better term. But you kind of got to get in there occasionally and trim out the little trees that are growing up. Now, we hadn't done that in a while. So I chopped down about 10 to 15 little trees. I'm not talking like trees, but like weeds. Oh, yeah. You know what? All right, Tom. Yeah, Mike, I couldn't watch the last two games when they put I can't think of that pitcher's name in, and he gave up like 10 runs. I was like, okay, this he's a rookie. Maybe he'll be better a little seasoning, but I think they left him in there just to get rocked because the bullpen is shot. And then, of course, our all-star closer, Riley O'Brien, gave up 6 runs. Yeah, the Cardinals are toast. Yeah, we're not going anywhere. This was supposed to be a rebuilding year, and I think people got a little caught up in the magic that was going on earlier on. And I do like how, for the most part, the team never quits. But they just don't have enough guns. They don't have enough arms. The offense, I mean, honestly, in today's game, 4 or 5 runs should be enough to win the game. But with the Cardinals bullpen, just like it's like a dumpster fire at this point. Yeah, you know what? But the Cardinals had their shot and they lost it. I mean, I don't feel sorry for any pitcher who can't get what he had a 4-run lead going into the 9th inning, and then did Schwarber knock. Yeah. Didn't he hit a grand slam? I forget what it was. Yeah, I think he had a grand slam, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I think Riley O'Brien is really overrated. I think just talking a little baseball, I think with Mason Wynn and Nathan Church and some of the even Jordan Walker, some of the out the fielding we have, he's got away with some stuff for a long time. And I think, yeah, I mean, it's honestly for what the Cardinals are spending this year. I think they're spending under 40 million because they paid Arenado to go away, and they paid. I think they paid a little bit for Contreras. Yeah, they paid a lot of. Yep, 459 feet. Yeah, yeah. I mean, he knew as soon as he hit it, and O'Brien knew too. He's like, he shouldn't have thrown it, but yeah. Like I said, O'Brien has been the beneficiary of a very efficient defense. It's like a vacuum cleaner. But I think if he would have played for a team with less defense, it would have been he wouldn't win the All-Star game. I haven't liked him from the get-go, Mike, our reliever. If you look at almost every one of his performances, he's got great defense, and he always like at least puts 2 men on. I can't deal with it. My stomach can't deal with that. But I mean, yeah, but yeah. So I mean, the Cardinals are out of it. They probably have been out of it since the trade deadline. But you know how it goes. Keep the faith. You know what? I don't know what you do, Mike. But if I can't catch the game, I always watch the highlights on YouTube. I subscribe to that, to the Cardinals channel. But I mean, the Phillies have got some really legendary players on their team. So if it can't be the Cardinals, I hope it's the Phillies. I don't know if they'll get past the Dodgers, but we'll see. How's your wife doing, Mike? Talking baseball. By the way, I got my Godzilla shirt on. I Yep. Well, thank you. I don't know if anybody's checked out my members page, but I did this feature on the Chips Patrol movie. Chips Patrol. I hate the movie. The Chips Patrol TV show. I mean, I know you've seen that, Mike. Excellent. I know you've seen Chips. I loved that show when I was a kid, and I found the box set for like $100. It sounds like a lot, but you get six seasons. Oh, there you go. There you go. So you're live streaming on the beach? That's cool. Got J-Mac in your pocket. I'm so pale. I go out in the sun, and I think I'm like a vampire. I know I look fairly tan here, but I've got to watch it. I really have to wear sunscreen a lot. I don't want to get skin cancer. That's the last thing I need. But apparently, because of apparently because of the medications we take, skin cancer is more at risk. I've read that. Yes, I am, sir. But yeah, that's what I've heard is that people with PD are at greater risk for skin cancer. Now, I actually had a little patch or something. It was on this cheek. I went in, they looked at it, they put the little freeze on it. They said it wasn't really anything. It was just some kind of like age-related blemish. Oh, my. Hey. Yeah, for those of you who are watching that don't know, Parkinson's Mike from South Jersey's got a YouTube channel. I know Tom Rio knows it. He's been recently diagnosed, so you might want to check him out and follow his journey. By the way, I know the podcast I was doing with Michelle from formerly of Slow Dancing with Parkinson's. We're going to record our last episode. We just kind of lost steam, but I'm going to try to get her to. She said she'd sit down with an interview that maybe we can do here in the next week or two. I mean, podcasts, there's just too much content out. I mean, I think that's what's happening on YouTube right now. There's just so much content. And everybody and their uncle has a podcast. When I started podcasting back in 2008, 2009, there was a lot of people doing it, but not like there is now. It's probably tenfold how many people podcast and do videos. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's like it's weird. Like I'm getting to the age where I've got to go get my Cologuard, and it's like, how did I get so old so fast? I know you guys are older than me, but so you probably want to slap me. I'm not old, but when I fall asleep, a lot of times I think back on my life, and I start to realize how many people I know that are gone. It's either just disappeared or passed away. It's almost overwhelming. Oh, nice. Send me a link when you do it. Like I said, I'm trying to set up something with Esther. She's been pretty busy lately, and Michelle. I need to get back to doing some interviews with people. It's just my kid's been out of school. He goes back tomorrow. Yes, hallelujah. He goes back tomorrow, and maybe then I can set up some more interviews and stuff. Get back on doing that because people do like my interviews, and I think they get better views than just some of my solo videos. By the way, I was looking at my channel. I've got like something like 200 or 300 videos. It's insane. And I think, oh yeah, I'm already on Medicare because I'm on disability. Um, it's insane how many videos I have, and I realize that nobody. I get zero traffic on my old videos, which is really weird because I've got such a huge library, and I feel like I repeat myself a lot of times on my videos. Maybe that's why people have been tuning out, but I just think there's just too much content. Yeah, I mean, if you go back to my videos, I've got, oh my god, I talk about everything. Does she work in the school for the school, Mike? I'm assuming she does. By the way, I started watching this show on HBO called American Monster. Mein Gott den Himmel. It is insane how crazy people are. Me and my wife, I'll be like, let's watch some dead body stuff. And we watched this one last night where I guess I don't want to say anything disturbing because I don't want to lose my monetization. I'm like, it involved a samurai sword. Yeah, we definitely should, Mike. I need to, now that my kid's going back to school, maybe we can set it up for next week or something. I would love to do that. Yeah, so it was called American Monster. There's a samurai sword involved. How bad you got to hate somebody to take out a samurai sword and go after him? I don't get it. Oh, preschool for Head Start. Nice, very nice. Well, tell her I said hello. Hello. Guten Tag. Guten Abend. Guten Nacht. A little German for you. Guten Morgen. By the way, Mike, have you seen the miniseries called The Pacific that was on HBO, I guess 10, 15 years ago? I just bought, I've saw it before, but I bought it. I don't have Apple. Is there a lot of good stuff on there? My wife wants to get it so we can see that. Isn't this shrinking show on Apple? And I love Gary Oldman. Gary Oldman can be psychotic and then turn around and be lovable at the next movie. I know you've seen The Professional, where he plays the crooked cop. Insane, just to watch that guy act. I was introduced to him through the Harry Potter movies. Well, I know I actually saw him before in The Professional, but I didn't realize it was him as Sirius Black. Gary Oldman, yeah, he can really he can chew the scenery quite a bit. Yeah, but I don't know if you ever seen The Pacific. Yeah, I actually fell asleep while watching it last night. I woke up at the end of episode 8 where, well, spoiler alert, one of the main characters dies on the siege of Iwo Jima. And I had to go back and rewatch the whole thing this morning. Yeah. I don't know if other people with Parkinson's have trouble staying awake. I mean, I wouldn't know if I'm driving or like I don't fall asleep. But if I read, I can fall asleep real quick. I don't know what it is. And then a lot of times at night, I was just falling out. Yep, Ted Lasso. That's another one that I want to watch. You know, we just re-upped HBO. We try to only have one streaming service at a time, so I think we're waiting for. There's this show called Monsters of God, which is about the reptile trade, and Naomi, my wife, really wants to watch that. I'm sure we will. When we get through with HBO, we'll cancel it. I think we'll get Apple next because there's a lot of. I still haven't seen the Michael J. Fox Still documentary. Haven't seen that. when it first came out, part of me was afraid to watch it because I thought it would be too negative. Sorry, I'm checking Facebook here. Oh yeah, so Senor Rio, Apple TV. Yeah, you guys, I'll have to maybe next month I'll get Apple TV because there's, I got Amazon for a while and I kind of binge on all the stuff I want to watch and kind of like right now I'm into the old '70s horror movies on Tubi. It's free. Yeah, I like the actor in Ted Lasso. Wasn't he in the movie the horrible bosses? What's his name? I can't think of his name. Ted Lasso character. Yeah, he was funny in that movie. Yeah, so it's starting to cool down in St. Louis, and I'll probably start doing videos back out on the deck. It's just been too damn hot. Yep, you guys have convinced me I'm getting Apple TV next. So back to the sleep thing. I know sometimes people with Parkinson's, or a lot of times people have trouble staying asleep with PD. I can just tend to my medications. I can just nod out really quick. It's not like Jason Sudeikis. Yeah, it's not like narcolepsy, but I find reading it just makes me mentally tired. I guess just my eyes following the lines, and I'll actually end up like waking up like as I fall over and the book falls on my lap. It's like jarring. Jason Sudeikis. Sounds like a Greek name. Sudeikis. Galifianakis. Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised. I mean, did you see the tarps off thing that the Cardinals had going for a while, where all the dudes would take their shirts off in the blazing heat? You look at it, it's all young guys. There's nobody over 25 out there. Yeah, I don't think. I mean, I'm not in bad shape, but I'm not. I'm not taking my shirt off on national television. I can guarantee that. Contrary to popular belief, my wife is like, "Oh, you get naked all the time." Yeah, my son gets. He was having a slumber party, and his cousins came over, and he told him, "I'm just warning you, my dad walks around without his shirt on in the morning." I was like, "Oh, does that embarrass you?" He goes, "A little bit." And I'll keep doing it, son. Yeah, I mean, I know I definitely have that feeling, but lately it seems like the sleepiness is in the afternoon. They do in Philly too. I love everybody, so I'm all for rainbow, LGBT, whatever. But I would feel a little. It seems a little homoerotic when all them. Just my opinion. I'm actually being a little facetious there, but I know. When I worked at the Teamster warehouse, if I would have got caught on camera, half naked with a bunch of dudes, I would have never lived it down. You know how the Teamsters are. I love them, but they're rough. Yeah, so maybe I've just been warped by then. But yeah, when I saw those dudes, I was like, "What the hell's going on?" It's another funny thing. I've got a black friend, and I said, "I don't see no brothers out there." He said, "The brothers know better." I'm telling you, look at those crowds. It's like it's usually there's one or two brothers, and the rest of them are like pasty white guys, which I think is kind of hilarious. But I love my gay friends. I'm just kind of observing as I do. So, Mike, what's your favorite genre of movie? If you could only have one genre to watch, what would it be? I think mine might be horror. I think I guess I've just been watching a lot of the old Hammer horror movies lately, and I don't know drama. See, drama can be such a wide spectrum of different um things. You could have like Gran Torino, which is a drama, which I love. But then you can also have like Sleepless in Seattle, which is a good movie, but I'd rather have something that light my fire a little more than that. Uh, yeah, I think it'd go horror. Ask me next week. It'll probably be an action adventure. I mean, I love the Indiana Jones movies. I love the Matrix movies. So I do love action, but I'm going through kind of this horror thing where my wife's like, "Can we watch something that's not so grisly?" I'm like, uh, but growing up, I was not allowed to watch anything like that. It's the first time I watched a real horror movie was probably the original Invasion of the Body Snatchers. We got it from Blockbuster back in the day, and my wife was so scared. It did freak me out a little bit. I got it in the library downstairs. It's a good movie. It is not nearly as terrifying as I remember it being. British spy movies. I like what, like Pink Panther. By the way, what is Slow Horses about? If you can just real briefly sum it up. I guess I could Google it if you don't tell me. When the movie when the show The Sopranos came out, speaking of deceptive titles, I was like, I don't want to watch a show about singers, and then I found out what it was about. I was like, the mafia. I was like, oh my god! And now it's like the best TV show ever. If you put me on an island and all I had to watch was, oh, okay, like, oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. Like, oh, okay, yeah, nice. So Slow Horses is kind of like set in that era, like the Cold War. Got some notes here. I don't know what that's about. Nothing important. I love that idea. I love that idea. Yeah, no, that's it. That settles it. I'm going to get Apple TV next month or whenever my wife says it's okay. Oh, current? Nice. There's some scary stuff going on in the world right now, and I was watching Neil deGrasse Tyson. I'm sure you know who he is, the astrophysicist, and he was talking about it was about war. Oh my god, and just how many missiles are out there. Those are my favorite kind of shows, like the double cross stuff. I love that. Where the bad guy can be the good guy at the same time and vice versa. You never get really good read on anybody. I find my favorite shows are where the bad guys and good guys are complicated characters. Where that's why I like that show Deadwood. Al Swearingen, the saloon owner. I almost didn't want to watch the rest of it after the first episode. He's so brutal and mean. But by the end of season one, when well, spoiler alert, he mercifully kills somebody. Um, Changed my mind on that guy, and by the end, I was like, okay, I get it. But he was a vile dude. But I like the complicated characters. My first love of that type of thing would have been Darth Vader because he's actually, I don't want to say he turns good at the end, but he redeems himself in the end. And I know it takes 3 movies to get there, and but yeah, I love complicated characters because I really feel like in real life people are never all good and all bad. I mean, of course, there are exceptions. Of course, we can name some people, but I think even people like I was watching something on BTK. His daughter said he even had warm moments of fatherhood. I'm like, how does that happen? How does somebody so vile and evil and horrible have moments of light? I don't get it. Don't get it. As the Spanish would say, es muy complicado. Es muy complicado. All right, guys, I'm going to sign off. Just wanted to kind of. I knew about that. I knew about the crying game. I watched it because of that scene. I'm like, Holy guacamole when he stands up. Yeah. Or she's, yeah. Good call, Mike. Good call. I think, yeah, we'll have to set up a time to do some movie talk because I think we get into the weeds a little bit. All right, guys, I'm going to sign off. Everybody have a good day. Tiene un buen día y noche. Adios.